stars.
Let's get this party started, fam and friends. Welcome to the Mark Inspire Show.
Come back down.
Let's get this party started. Welcome to the Mark Inspire Show.
I wanna touch the stars. I'll take you away. Let me take you away. We'll take a long ride out of town. I wanna touch the stars. Before I come back down. You're on your own. Say goodbye to it all for now. Find yourself in Pueblo, Colorado, yeah. Up in the clouds and climbing high. I wanna touch the stars. Before I come back down. I wanna touch the stars. No looking back, no. The sun is setting, the moon is shining down. I wanna touch the stars. Before I come back down. I wanna touch the stars. You touch the stars before you come back down to planet. I wanna touch the stars before I come back down.
I hope everyone's doing great tonight. We're about to get into it. Day 1,832 in a row.
Morning come, the rising sun. You take me away again. You take me on another ride. I wanna touch the stars. Before I come back down. I wanna touch the stars. Before I come back down. I wanna touch the stars. Before I come back down. Oh, I wanna touch the stars. Before I come back down. I wanna touch the stars. Before I come back down. Oh, I wanna touch the stars. Before I come back down. I wanna touch the stars. Before I come back down. I wanna touch the stars. wanna come back down. Written live. I want to.
It's Sunday, my friends. We're at
ease my mind and help my living.
to ease my mind, to help my living. This is the longest running daily variety show on planet Earth. Live 1,832 days in a row. I've been here every day since December 31st, 2018. If you found me for the first time today, welcome. This is a show where we create live in the moment. I invented the only drum in the world for guitar players, so I play that here. And you could order your own at BeatSeat.rocks. I'm also a realtor, so if you have any need for a home, whether you want to buy or sell, I can help you anywhere in the country. So make sure you send me a DM on that. The mornings, every morning during the week at 9 a.m., I'm live. We talk about news of the day. We talk about real estate, mortgage rates, all these different real estate stories. I'm trying to at least remind you guys I'm a real estate agent to make sure none of these opportunities where you're buying or selling fall through the cracks. I did start this show originally with that intention, was to help everybody in this family find real estate and connect with a great agent and save you some stress. I always thought about it, like I would never go and get like an E-Trade account and start buying stocks. I have no idea about anything when it comes to finance. I'm not going to be the guy who's like, I can do it. Let me go get an E-Trade account. I find a professional who does it every day of their life and say, hey, here you go. Can you go and figure out how I could grow this money? I would just throw money out the window if I did it myself. Same thing. You buy or sell a house every 7 to 10, maybe longer years down the road, How often are you connecting and into the real estate market, understanding the process? Not very often. So you call someone who does it every day. You say, how do I get a great agent? Now, this is the thing I always think about. Like, I ask questions that you would never think of asking when it comes to finding a great agent. You're thinking of how much is your commission? What do you do to advertise? And then there's other questions that I'd be asking, like, are you there for showings? And do you have any construction experience? I think that's a huge one. My father's a builder, and before I got into real estate, I actually built and renovated homes with my father for about 13 years. And my mind thinks a little differently when I'm out in a house with people. I'm thinking about how could I help them improve this home? I have this Rolodex of contractors because of my father that can help. And so when it comes down to it, you want to find a real estate agent who can provide you with information in real time, and so you're not losing out on the property. Can't tell you the amount of agents I've heard, my clients love this house, but they have to have a contractor come out. So they call my father. Hey, can he come and look? And I had a lot of those over the years, or agents in my office would ask if my father could come and look at a property before a client would buy it. Do you know how many times those people lost those properties because they weren't comfortable enough to move on them? They needed a contractor's opinion on what they needed to do over there. You have that when you're with me. When I walk through a house, I know what things cost generally. I mean, they're out of control with the pricing these days, but I have a general idea on cost when it comes to doing any renovations in a house. And that's a huge advantage when it comes to walking through a house and whether or not you are going to get that house over the person who's walking through in 5 minutes. Matt Sabra- Sometimes when you're here and you're thinking like, I don't know if I can feel any better than I do right now. Matt Zabrowski comes out of nowhere with a woo-woo, and then you're like, how do you feel any better than that? Well, we're taking it to a new level here, people. I got the 1775 Bible with me. I think we're going to do a little reading of that tonight. I have a few passages that have been asked, so we'll get into that. I'm going to play a little music. You heard the intro song, which is I Want to Touch the Stars. It's interesting, the lyrical content on this show, because it's all in the moment. I don't know what I'm going to write anytime I go live. But they keep coming out as these really powerful messages. Like, for example, I don't even know what this was. I erased the one I had on yesterday.
Every night, yes we do, fight the evil of the world.
Fight the evil of the world is the name of this song. It's every day.
Join us, fight the evil of the world.
Guys, we're here to fight the evil of this world every single day for 18
Every night, yes we do.
Every
Fight
night.
the evil of the world.
Every single day. Because now we're doing it twice a day.
The rain falls down,
bucketfuls. That's a really nice visual, song. You think about rain falling down in bucketfuls. It's kind of cool. But these songs all, arrive here in this moment that we're living in. And I think that, to me, is the most exciting moment there is. It's the only moment there is. And when you could somehow ground to it and be a part of something that's history. These shows are here. They're evergreen. They call it evergreen. That means we may have 100 views, 60 views, 120 views on this, and it may be like that for a couple of years. It may be that way for 50 years, 100 years, but it is evergreen because someday, 100 years, 200 years down the line, someone could come across this show and they'll see a piece of history. This isn't just a talk show. This isn't a show where we say, hey, today this happened in the news. I do that just to get you guys to come here. Like with the Bible. I'm thankful that the Bible brought you here because they won't ever let you find me if it wasn't for the Bible. And so you come for the Bible, stay for the show that never ends. Because we don't know where it's going, but we know it's showing up again tomorrow. And that's a little hope in a world that's dying and without it. We're lacking hope. We're lacking passion. We're lacking perseverance in 2024, especially with people who are too afraid to speak. They can't say anything because everything is cancelable. This is the one show I've been canceled since day one, and I keep showing up. You got all these people, I got canceled. I've been canceled for 5 years, guys. And thank God these awesome people come back and they hang out with me every day, because without them, I'd be here alone. If it wasn't for Mark Wages, I'd be here alone. So I'm thankful for people along the way who've joined this show and spread the word. And so all I say, if you do find this show, please be a warrior for this show and understand that I was canceled 5 years ago. And if you guys, I just keep showing up. If you guys want to somehow beat the man and beat the algorithm and somehow let a show that's pure light out into this world, then please help. Just share, leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe and turn on all notifications. I'll keep reading the Bible for you. I'll keep writing songs for you. The stuff I've been doing every day, creating comedy, and that's going to continue on regardless. But the Bible's now a part of the show. I'm going to read probably a passage a day. I want to get through the whole Bible. I want to read it all. I've had a lot of people say, can you make a copy for me? Guys, I do this show for free. I can't go then and I'll spend money on now scanning a Bible and give that out to people for free. It's like, I can't, like I already make nothing for this show. I just do it because the world is dying. And so I'll read it for you. I'll make a barter with you. You want to know about the Bible? Subscribe. Turn on notifications and show up whenever you can. I'm going to be reading it every day. All right? And if you want to hear passages from the Bible and you wanted to get a copy of it, the next best thing that you can get is a guy who's live every single day of existence reading the Bible for you. And hopefully you could appreciate that enough to come tomorrow and learn that this is not what you're really here for. You're not here for the Bible. The Bible's really cool. It is cool. But what we do here is transcendence. We take something that doesn't exist and then we create something out of it. There was nothing here and then there's this, right? Big Bang, whatever the bull crap they try to pitch at us. None of that's real. This was created by intelligent design. You can't look at a Rolex and say that just happened on its own out of chaos. We are so much more intricate than a Rolex. The moving parts. So when it comes down to it, we were absolutely created by something. What it is, I'm not really sure. Could be God, could be a science project. We don't know. But the point is, we're here. And we're here in 2024. So how do we go forward and keep this world together while it's trying to destruct in front of our eyes? I think the way we do that is to get, as often as possible, step into this moment, because that's where God is. I started realizing some of these passages from all Bibles. This isn't just the 1775 Bible, but it says when two or more are gathered, I am there. I'm so thinking, like, what does that mean? Oh, so two more people are there thinking about God. He's there with them. Those two people are thinking about God. No, it's the thinking. So two people that are there together thinking means they're in the moment together. They're there in the very moment, and they're looking at each other, or they're holding hands and they're praying together. In that moment, you are with God. That is what the message was, and nobody said that, but that's the truth of it. And the only reason I know that is because I've been live here for 1,832 days in a row, and every single day I'm here with God. God is present with me. Because there's no other way to explain 209 songs on iTunes and Spotify, over 12, maybe 1,100, 1,200 songs on my channel, written live in the moment, all looped with these crazy pedals. Inventing a drum that never existed, created something that's going to change the world for people with autism. You know, I'm here as a musician playing this thing for you guys, but this is a sensory therapy drum for anybody with autism. It could be the most powerful sensory drum on the planet. You could play it with your whole body. Everywhere you hit it sounds different, therefore it feels different. If you're someone with a sensory perception issue, or you have a sensitivity to vibration, this is the game. Because everywhere you hit it feels and sounds different. I feel it on my body everywhere I hit it. When I kick it, if I take this thing, that goes right through my body. I feel it right in my core. When I go to the snare, different feeling, but it's there. I can't totally feel the difference. I know one's sharper than the other. One's got a little bit more beef to it, so my body shakes a little more than this one. But that one, my body's shaking. When I go over here, I'm feeling that right here in my legs. It's like your hands get the vibration. I mean, it's a lot of fun to play too. That's why I always say, like, this is a roller coaster. Our entire life is a roller coaster. No matter what you have in your wallet, you're still dealing with an emotional roller coaster throughout your entire life. You need to break away from it. The only way you can push the responsibility aside for a moment is to reflect in the moment and be present with the Creator. Grab a BeatSeat, beat the hell out of it, let it all out. I do that every day of my life. I can't tell you, it's like it brings me a lot of peace. That I could sit here on this thing every day and write songs for you. It's very peaceful, just that idea of allowing myself to express fully. So let me get into this Bible. Drop my sword. The sword of God. The sword of God is here to protect the 1775 Bible. Guys, we can't have anybody coming to try to steal the Bible. So I got my sword, the sword of destiny. We're going to stab someone if they come for the Bible. Guys, I have to read it for you. Also, this has been here every day since I've started at the start of the show. Every single day since I started the show, this has been here. And just the backstory again for anybody who wants to know. I had a few people ask, how did you get that Bible? I'll just quickly tell you the story. I was selling a piece of real estate in New Canaan, Connecticut. And my client he was selling it for his father who had passed away. And so I get to the end of the transaction. We're about a week before, and he goes, look, can you meet the junk company, like junk luggers or whatever over there, and open up? They're going to clear the house. And I remembered, I'd been there, I was selling the place for 2 months, and every time I went into his father's office, I was like, oh man, he's got 6 violins, a bunch of different clarinets. He had a ton of books. And so I said, what are you doing with those instruments? And he goes, oh, we're just going to donate them. I don't know. I'm going to have them take them and throw them away. I was like, you're going to throw away those? I said, listen, I'm a musician. I collect instruments. I mean, I got every instrument in the world here. I got saxophone. I got a stand-up bass. I got violins, as I told you, but I got them from him. Okay, so he said, take whatever you want, Mark. I'm like, are you serious? He goes, yeah, I'm getting rid of the house. He lived in it's Greenwich, Connecticut. He was like, I don't care, whatever's there. I don't want anything from that house. I don't want anything from my dad's house. And I was like, all right. So I go into this office, his dad's office, small room. It's stacked with stuff. And I grab all of the instruments and I bring them into my car. And as I go back, I'm like, you know what? Let me just look at a couple books and see if there's anything interesting on the shelf or in the boxes. And in one of the boxes, I find 3 books. This is one of them here. It's the 1793 Confession of Faith, which is a very cool Lutheran Bible, which I read one passage of so far. We have a piece of content here on YouTube about that if you want to watch it. It's really cool. All of the 1775 Bible stuff is on my YouTube channel, people on TikTok. So if you do want to head over, we're live right now on YouTube every day of existence for the last 5 years plus. This is the longest running daily variety and positivity show. We're here to connect. We're here to get away from the world for a few minutes and enjoy this chat here. So you should really leave TikTok. And I know TikTok doesn't like me saying that, but you should head over to YouTube at least to subscribe and hit the bell, because I'll be live again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And I'll be reading a passage from the Bible every day going forward. So just to get into it, I get this Bible, Lutheran Bible, 1793, and I get this... And we should one of these days read this too. Oh, thank you so much for the gift on TikTok. You're amazing. Brittany, how are you? Thank you so much. Became the number 4 member of the team. Oh, come on over, my friend. Come over to YouTube. So this right here, guys, is the Union Prayers and Hymns book from 1863. Pretty cool, right? Oh, my friend. Larry Clemens is kicking it with us. Brenda's here. I got Chris Donaldson, S. Coop in the house. Let's scroll up and see who's kicking it. Barella. I see Leisure number 7. Leisure number 7. Can you believe that song? And I hope every time you hear Pueblo, Colorado, you're like, that's my line, you know, because it's like, this song is rocking. That song should be all over the radio. Will, how are you, my friend? Barilla. Oh, man, I got the Famine Friends on YouTube. Guys, you should be over there with us. The link is in the bio, but then come back. You could hang on to YouTube, on TikTok, because giving the gifts is kind of cool over there. Allison Jane in the house. You guys are awesome. Uh-oh. Okay, there was a second there where S-Coop didn't have any sound. It made me worry. Virginia, so good to see you. All right, we're going back to where we are in the chat. We're live. Let me see. Is that Timmy Beers is in the house too? My brother. I got 1720 Jones kicking it with me. Brittany C496. Sue San Allen, right? Yeah, I got that. I don't have my glasses on. Mama Bear. There's a Mama Bear that hangs out with us on YouTube as well. I'm not sure if it's the same Mama Bear, but you should head over and be with us over there. Dansk, WPHE, JX. Jacks at the end. So guys, Union Prayer Book, 1793 Confessions of Faith, which we are going to read more of this one for sure. It's pretty cool. And the coup de grace. This is the 1776 New Testament, 1775 Old Testament of the Holy Bible. And this right here, just so you know the backstory on this, there were a bunch of little notes inside of this. And they all fell out, and one of them had a bunch of Psalms that we should actually read. I'll find that little sheet. But there's like little things like, look, here's one right here. We'll go and figure out what those were. But I'm looking and I see down here, first I see 1775, and I'm like, what in the, you know? And so I start looking through this thing, and a lot of things popped out as really weird, and the one that was pretty cool right here is, this is a family genealogy of the owners of this Bible. So one of these days in the past, I started to think, well, wouldn't it be kind of cool to figure out what happened to this guy who bought and owned this Bible? And so Stephen Howell, who was born on October 23rd, 1744, I popped that in on Google just to see if anything would come up. And I see, and someone could probably pull this up right now and give me a better idea of the exact dates, but he died on October 28th or October something of 1820, I think it was, or 1828. He lived a pretty long life. But who was Stephen Howell? His wife, Eunice Howell. There was a funny piece of comedy. Guys, see, I missed it the other day. Where was that comedy? Remember the other day? I got to ask Siobhan. She was watching it and I forgot. You know what? She left it as a comment. I'll go back and find it. I did this crazy funny comedy about Stephen Howell and Eunice Howell, and I was doing Archie and Edith Bunker, and it was just pretty wild. Oh, Archie, you got to come down and read the Bible. Settle down there, Edith. Where's the meathead? You know, we're doing a whole Eunice and Edith Bunker thing. Anyway, let's get back to this. Stephen Howell, Eunice Howell. So I start looking at Stephen Howell. He lived in Sag Harbor, New York. So fast forwarding beyond what I'm about to tell you, this Bible made its way from England, from Cambridge, all the way to New York, to Sag Harbor, and it was in the possession of Stephen Howell, okay? And then it eventually got to my client's father in Connecticut, which is not that far away. And so it finds its way to Connecticut. And in 2013, it becomes mine. Now, what's pretty cool about that is Stephen Howell was actually enjoying his life. He was doing whatever in Sag Harbor. And one day, George Washington comes into town. And he says, I'm looking for brave men to stand by my side and fight the British. So Stephen Howell joined George Washington in the American Revolution, fought by his side, likely made his way across the Delaware as one of the soldiers. Stephen Howell did that. So a Revolutionary War soldier, the man who fought for our freedom, owned this Bible. And then I see this parallel that I'm here 246 years after this Bible was created, 248 years later, and I'm fighting for the freedom that we all are having stolen from us. The freedom of speech, the right to liberty, the pursuit of happiness, the things they don't want us to have going forward by 2030. And so canceled I am, but I show up every day to remind you that there are people out there that will hold the torch. They'll keep driving into the night. The question is, will you help them get the word out so they don't have to do it alone? Because some of us are going to keep going regardless of who shows up. The world is dying. What choice do we have? Sit back and watch it burn to the ground? So this right here is a source of strength for this show. Even though I didn't think about it that way, it was sitting behind me the last 1,832 days. Every day this is with me. The American Revolutionary War soldiers' spirit to fight for what is right is with us every day, guys. So no, I won't give it to anybody else. I won't sell it. People, oh, I'll buy that from you. No, this is the essence of this show. To never give up, to never surrender, to fight back against all odds, no matter who cancels you. Drive into the night with a fire coming out of your heart. So Stephen Howell, I thank you for doing what you did to get us to today, where we have something to fight for. And I'll take the torch from here. I'll build the sword, and I'll take it out. I'll unsheath it when necessary for you. And I love that. As at the beginning of the show, Brenda said, a lot of people twist the truth. And I said, not here. We bathe in the truth here. We breathe the truth. We live in the moment where truth exists. Everything else is manufactured. I do these bits all the time where there's a group in the room. They're like, hey guys, I got an idea. All right, so check this out. Everybody should hate each other. All right, just hear me out. If they hate each other, then we can get them to just kind of submit to our insanity, like boys can be whatever, we do that. And then everybody fights in the streets. Yeah, but they both, I know, Tommy, I know that they get along on everything else, but we can't let them get along on anything else, What's that, Jill? No, Jill, I know what their parents told them. Don't talk about religion, politics, or money. Guys, let's just talk about religion, politics, and money. I mean, I'm sort of doing the religion thing, but that's because this is a 1775 Bible, and it's just pretty freaking cool to have. But really, and I don't really talk about religion much here because I don't want to force anything on anybody, but I do want to say that what we do represent on this show is a religion. And I'm not saying that to be weird. I'm actually a freaking deacon. Like, I got a paperwork that I'm a deacon now. Like, this is nuts. I don't know what to do with it, but I decided on December 25th, on Christmas Day, the day that's not really Christmas, to do that. To get certified. So I as a man of God. Now, what God? My God. The God that I believe is in this very moment right here. You could call him whatever the heck you want. I know the one that is in this Bible, his real name is Yahushua, if you wanted to know that. His real name, it's Yahushua. And I think that that's where the power lies, by the way, is in that name. So you could call him whatever you want, because apparently feeling is more important. In 2024, what you feel is more important. So, I feel like so I guess the Bible, the Bible did that. No, what I really think is amazing, guys, is drawing parallels from this book from 1775 to 2024. Thank you so much for the love over here on TikTok. because the Bible from 1775, it's in Old English. I did this really cool bit on YouTube about HHH2. It's this reference here in the New Testament about some disease that we don't even have anymore. But for it to be referenced in the Bible, it was a massive deal back then. And I had a bunch of people say, no, that's just a page marker. Guys, it's not a page marker. There's nowhere else in the book where I see that. Nowhere. Oh, wait. Q99. Hold on. Maybe you're right. Wait a second. Hold on. Oh, no. No. Oh, goodness. All right. So, yeah, it is just a page marker. You know what, guys? But this is why I like to be proved wrong whenever I can be proved wrong. HHH2. And he healed many that were sick of HHH2. It works, guys. I mean, look. You look at it and you're like, yeah, guys, that's freaking weird. It says it right there. He healed. There we go. He healed many that were sick with HHH2. But hold on, I'm all done. Let's see what happens if we go to the next page here. Let's just see what this one says. There we go. No man can enter the strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will HHH3. Oh, man, whoever got that right, thank you so much, and you're awesome. Oh, man. So, yeah, that HHH2 is not referenced to anything, any disease. It is a page marker in the Bible. So, anyway, just quickly to get back, Stephen Howell owned this. I own it now. I'm going to keep it forever. My plan is to go live every day forever. If you could help me with that mission and support the platform by telling people this show exists, very much appreciated, because what we know of is canceled now. That happened to me 5 years ago when I did the Donald Trump show. I did the Donald Trump show in 2019. It's a parody. It's a satire. It's a feature film on YouTube. You can check it out. It's called The Donald Trump Show. Just type in Mark Inspires as well, because they won't even let you see it if you just type in The Donald Trump Show. That's how hard they try to keep this from you. But it's hilarious. It's a face swap movie. 4 hours and 20 minutes of face swaps where you see really everything bad that Joe Biden ever did. And then you see Donald Trump commenting. And I thought that was the funniest concept in the world, because you see all these talking heads, they'll look at a piece that, okay, Biden trips up the plane stairs. And then you see these people talking about, look at this moron. He's falling up the stairs to the plane. He's a brain dead idiot. And it's like, yeah, I guess that's pretty funny. But isn't it funnier if you see Donald Trump on screen and he goes, are you kidding me? Sleeps over Joe, falling on the plane. He's pooping in his triple diaper. You know, like, I think I laugh at that. I don't laugh at a guy, the Hodge twins or any of these other people, Ben Shapiro, when they're saying, oh, they're making fun of Biden. I'm sorry, that's not funny. You know what's funny? The Donald Trump show, the thing that got me canceled. You should go watch it and see why I got it canceled. It's freaking dead hilarious. I think I may play some of it for you tonight, because it's one of the best things I've ever done. But that put me in the hole I'm in, and what I wanted to say is, if you appreciate live creation, you appreciate this Bible, if you appreciate that I've been here for 5 years in a row every single day, tell a friend tomorrow. Let him know, come back. He's going to be back tomorrow and every day thereafter. They're from. Look at this. So we're at the New Testament. Are we looking at the New Testament, or what are we looking at today? I had a bunch of different verses that were asked of. Let me see if I could find at least one of them. Something about Psalms, something in, what was the other one called? Chronicles, I believe. Let's see, I just have to go into my comments here and find it. Let's go back to the video from Bible Secrets Revealed. I don't know if you guys saw this. Let me give this to you. This is really cool. I found a bunch of, I read this really awesome psalm, and it really connects to today, and it was a really powerful piece of content if you want to watch that later. Let me see what this comment said and what I should be reading for you. Like I said, I'm happy to read anything from this Bible that you guys would like to hear. I'm going to be doing it every day going forward. All right, here we go. Let me get in here. Okay, so these psalms, we did those. Let's see, what was the other one? What the freaking heck? Okay, I would love to hear Romans chapter 8. That's from Samantha. Guys, let's do it. We're doing this for Samantha. Hopefully she'll come over and see this at some point. Romans chapter 8. There's Chronicles too. I told you there's something that we have to read there. Of course, I have no idea where Romans is. I love the way this Bible sounds. Ready? Solomon's Song. Anybody know where Romans is? Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Amos. I must have passed it way early on there. Zepha, Nafa, Habalukakaga, Micah. Okay, yeah, we're definitely not even close. Exodus. It's got to be after that. Leviticus. The other thing that I think is kind of cool is I've never read the Old Testament anyway, but to be reading it for you guys in real time, I'm taking a true reflection on this thing as a first-time reader, which I actually think is pretty cool because I'm going to take it and I'm going to read it to you and I'm going to draw connections to this thing in a way that makes sense to me in 2024. And I believe you have to do that with the Bible because they were living in a different time. None of this stuff applies to today. You have to somehow connect it to what is happening in the world today with the evil around us. Chronicles. All right. Wait, is Kings in the New Testament? I'm sorry, not Kings. Romans. I think Romans may be in the New Testament, guys. Let me look up and see if anybody has that. You can tell me. Do you have pics of the list of chapters and calendars somewhere for reference? A, please. Yeah, I'll show you that in a moment for sure. Let me see if I could quickly find you this. And then we'll look through and see if we could look at the 13 months again. John, Acts. We have to read Acts. Oh, here we go. Romans. From my buddy Acts. Oh, by the way, if anybody connects with Acts at all, Acts and Nacho, let Acts know that I think with Zoom now we could jam out together. Like I saw something, it says they made a new beta thing for musicians, and we were talking about it. We wanted to jam together a while ago. We never had a chance to do it. But now they have this musician thing where you can, the latency is low enough where people could jam together. So that's the other thing I want to put out to you guys. You guys know I write songs here every day on the BeatSeat. If you know any musicians who want to jam out, I want to play with someone who can play though, guys. Don't get me someone who's just like hanging out. You know what I do here? I'm looking for someone who's going to rip it up. Okay. So bring me someone ridiculous, a drummer, bass player, anybody like that who's killing it. I want to do something wild here where we create songs in the moment together like I do, but with one more artist. I think that would be a really powerful, like a songwriter series, to have these Mark Inspires, welcomes, blah, blah, blah on the show. And we do whatever comes out that night. But again, it's got to be somebody who can, and as a guy who's been here for 1,832 days in a row, creating songs on a guitar and on a drum no one's ever seen before, it's got to be somebody who's on my level or better. I'd like someone who's better than me. If you could find, there's a lot of people better than me. Find them for me, and let's see if we can get them on the show with me. Because I want someone who's going to elevate my game. Someone who I'm going to be like, what the fuck is that guy doing? Like, that would be pretty cool. So if you know anybody, bring them in, and we'll do something crazy like.
You gotta be you. You gotta be you. Yeah. You gotta be you. You can't be anybody else. No. You gotta be you. Yeah.
Chapter 8, Romans. Let's get into it, family.
You gotta be you. Yeah. You gotta be you. You gotta be you.
I gotta release that song still. I have not edited that. It's from about 3 months ago. Have no idea when. These songs are written every night, and then I lose them all in time. So someone's got to go back and go through all my shows to find these cool songs. But imagine the ones we're going to create with other people. Woo! So somebody tell Acts. I'll see if I can reach out to Acts myself. Here we go. Chapter 8 of Romans for Samantha from the 1775 Bible. Guys on TikTok, I'm reading the 1775 Bible. Can I get a couple of smacks on the screen for some love? And maybe you could share with anybody you have out there that's interested in the 1775 Bible. We're reading Romans chapter 8 right now. All right. There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Christ Yahushua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For the law of the Spirit of life in Christ Yahushua. Sorry, guys, I have to change his name whenever I see it. I just can't call him Jesus. It's not a real name. It's a real name now if you're in, like, Central America and wherever else. Lots of people call Jesus. Their names are real. His name was Yahushua. So that's what I go with. You can call him what you want. Down with that. When I see him one day, I'm calling him Yahushua. Yahushua. Yeah, hey, what's up? Jesus. Who's that? When I was alive, my name was Yahushua. I always love that. Like, one day, 1,000 years from now, someone would be like, Mugugwagwa. Oh, we loved your music, Mugugwagwa. Who the fuck? Who's that? Mugugwagwa. My name's Mark. Don't know what Mugugwagwa is. Sounds like it's a couple of waters at the end of Mugu, but whatever. Anyway, guys, we're into the Romans here. We're reading it, chapter 8. Here we go. For what the law could not do when it was weak through the flesh, God sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are of the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. I like that. What is for K and T? What is K and T here? What is that? Hold on a minute. Chapter 4, 15, and 20. They have these little reference points here. I don't know, they have a K and then like a little cross there, but I'm not sure what the cross means. Let me see if I can see what that is. GR. What's great Paphions mean? Anybody know? GR.PAS. Oh, great passions. Hold on a minute. Okay. So they have this reference. It says great passions up here, but the first thing it says, for to be carnally minded is death. But I think it says, for great passions, to be carnally minded is death. But great passions be, oh my goodness, guys. They have that in here because they couldn't say the word great passion in 1775. They weren't allowed to say those words. They were like sexual terms. You couldn't even say great passions in 1775. That was too sexually driven. Now where it's like, go and bang her out. You know what I mean? But here, they had to put a cross for great passions. Great passions indicated sexual pleasure. That's amazing to me. And it doesn't, but that was where the mind was back in 1775. You can't even say that. You have to have a little reference point to great passions. Ooh, that's porn in 1775. That's crazy, but that's the way it was. I remember in the 1980s, 1990s, they were like, well, in 10 years, people are going to be swearing on TV. And I was like, yeah, right. They'll have pornography on TV. I was like, yeah, right. It all happened. Everything they said came true. It's like, and that was just 20 years. 20 years. Right here, you couldn't even say great passions 248 years ago. You had to have a reference point to the words great passions. Passions, probably fine, but great passions. Ooh, Anyway, for great passions to be carnally minded is death. For great passions to be spiritually minded is life and peace. I want to show that to you just so you guys see what I mean here. I have to find that reference point because when you look here, let's see if I can find it. Right there. You see it? For K, and then you see the cross. For great passions to be carnally minded is death. But great passions to be spiritual minded is life and peace. Pretty cool. So, what that's basically saying to us is that for great passions to be carnally minded, which is basically, carnal pleasures, and to be a scumbag, right? That's death. But to be of a spiritual mind and to connect with the earth and with the Creator, that is life and peace. That sounds accurate to me. Because great passions, the carnal mind is enmity against God. For it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. So then, there's an M here. What's the M? Leviticus 18:5. It references. I'm not going to go and find that right this second. But because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. So then they that are the flesh cannot please God. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit. Wow. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please God. They that are consumed with self, they that are consumed with the thing of the day, and with every moment being about what they can get instead of what they can give, they are of flesh. But ye are not of this flesh. You are of the Spirit. If so be that the Spirit of God dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the Spirit of Christ, he is none of his. And Christ be in you. The body is dead because of sin, but the Spirit is life because of righteousness. But if the Spirit of him that raised up Yeshua from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Christ from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his Spirit that dwelleth in you. Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh, to live after the flesh. For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the Spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit, that we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs, heirs of God, and joined heirs with Christ, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Wow. So no matter how bad anything can seem in the flesh, the glory that you'll feel when you're with God can't even compare. Can't even think about that differentiation. The Spirit beareth witness with the Spirit that we are the children of God. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. That's an interesting passage right there. Because I have a hard time connecting negativity to positivity, you know? And that basically says that you should be able to somehow understand the glory, and that because you don't, it's because of how great God is. But I don't understand a connection from negative to positive, so that one I'm a little lost on. But what I would say is I'd love to hear what you guys think about that. I'll read that one more time, and then I want to hear if you can leave some comments on what you think about this passage here. And does it sound like it's saying that a negative could never, you can't compare a negative to a positive? Because I can't. I have a hard time. You know, when I see someone who's trying to destroy, I have a hard time, comparing that to how amazing God will be, because God would be, anything's better than someone who's a piece of garbage. You know what I mean? So that I'm a little lost on. Love to hear what you think. Here we go. I'll read it one more time. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of sons of God. Is the creature the evil of this world? For the earnest expectation. So the evil of this world is expecting that the sons of God are going to come together, and that's what they fear most. It actually sounds pretty accurate to today. I mean, you think about what everything is about: control, keep the truth from you, because the earnest expectation of the creature is that they waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. They waiteth, they understand it's going to happen. And they do everything possible to keep us apart, do everything possible to keep us divided, because they understand that it's going to happen eventually. And no matter what they try, they can't keep it from happening. It just, at some point, it happens. What is that thing that brings us all together? I don't know. I just know that I'm here every day. That's one way to start. If we all joined here in the chat, you guys become the movement. You guys become that voice that can change the world. I'll be here again tomorrow, twice. So, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope. Let me read that again. For the creature was made subject to vanity. So basically saw the things of the world and wanted. Was in a place of wantingness, like just sitting there like, I need that. Okay, now that I have it, I need more. And the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but, and again, this is basically implying that people start with a good heart. They have no intention of not having a good heart going through their life. They start with a good heart because we know it's like, made subject to vanity, not willingly. So it happened to them. It was forced upon them, and by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope. Reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope. Wow. Man, so that's saying we're all doomed. Listen to that. Because the creature itself shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glories, liberty, and the children of God. The creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by the reason of some other person who was subjected to the same in hope. They were hoping for something better, and then they got jaded, and now they've tainted the waters of the next generation over and over and over. This is really crazy to hear that way, because that's where we are. That's the world we lived in. 1775 to today, it's just like the evil of the world perpetuates generation to generation. There's a small group of people, and it's that are trying to see if they can keep this world together from generation to generation. So, for we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? I don't know. Some of these things I can't even understand. Like that, I don't even know what the hell that means. But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it? Huh. But if we hope for that we see not, then do we have... Is that basically saying, we sit there thinking about these things, or we're hoping for these things that we can't even see a pathway to? And why doth he yet hope for? I don't know if I should just be dissecting this all, guys. What I'm going to do is just read it. You guys dissect it. I'll let you guys determine what's what here, because I can't. It's just like the Old English. I'm trying to read the Old English for you. That's enough. Let me see if I get through that. You guys do the thinking. Here we go. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body. For we are saved by hope. But hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? But if we hope for what we see not, then do we with patience wait for it? Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he that searcheth. Oh, God almighty, my camera. Did that work? And he that searcheth the heart knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God. Guys, all these ifs, right? 1775. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate, to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them he also glorified. What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? If God be for us, who could be against us? The evil of the world. Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? It is God that justifieth. It is God who justifieth. Who is he that condemneth? It is Christ that died. Yea, rather, that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of God, who also maketh intercession for us. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution, or famine, nakedness, or peril, or sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted of sheep for the slaughter. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Christ Yeshua our Lord. Amen. Oh, I see. That's about faith. Put more hope in the things unseen. Yeah, I think I always try to draw parallels to my own life, you know? Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, to have faith in things that you can't see. You know, the power of other people's movements in the world, you know? So I think one passage a day is probably what we'll do here, you know? Especially we're almost at an hour. Guys, when you have a sword to protect the Bible from 1775, you know, that you built personally, you know, this we have here, Mark Inspire Show. Guys, so I wanted to let you know something else that's going to happen in the next couple of days here. It's just got to happen. We got to create another movie. All right. Now, nobody saw this, but you probably should go back to see this. On New Year's Eve, New Year's Eve, I did a live from New York City Times Square, like green screen thing. It's like, could be a movie. I mean, it's like 30 minutes stand-up comedy vibe. I hit on so many things that are wrong with the world within that stand-up. It was so funny. I haven't gone back to download that yet. I think only like 40 or 50 people saw it that day because it was like New Year's Eve or whatever, like before it was the daytime thing. What's interesting to know if you watch any of these things, if you go back and watch this green screen thing, I'm improvising everything. So the first couple of minutes are always like, okay, where am I going with this? Like even me, I'm like, okay, what am I doing here? What am I saying? Where am I going? And before you know it, it starts going, and then I start seeing all these different avenues to take, and 30 minutes go by and I just killed it. Literally, it was such a freaking powerful comedy bit. And I didn't download it yet. I have to do that and just drop it for you. I was thinking about doing something which would be kind of interesting, is to take it, edit it, and then just put it as a premiere for December 31st of next year. So when we get to New Year's Eve of this show, which is, or December 30th, we get to New Year's Eve of this show next year, you get to see that. I'll just leave it for a full year and let it sit there and just be a piece that's like, oh yeah, I'll click the link on that and make sure I'm there. You know, I want to start doing that also. I have too much content that I don't get to drop, and then when I do get it, I'm so excited, so I just drop it right away. For the people who do subscribe to me over on YouTube, I want to start doing something unique where I upload a bunch of content, like 20 or 30 pieces of content. And then based on the support of these people that are there, I'll open up the content to be seen before the release. And then prior to the actual premiere, I'll then bring it down maybe like 6 hours before, and then get it ready for a premiere state. So it could be like a big premiere. We can get everybody in and have a 5-minute window for people to join. So just a couple other ideas that we have going forward. Of course, we're going to be rocking out, writing songs. It's just now we're here for 1:01. And I want to make sure we keep these somewhat tight so we can get lots of views for these shows. They're all great shows, especially reading the Bible. I want to make sure that the people who really like this 1775 Bible seek my content out on YouTube, guys. There's tons of Bible content there, but you really should come and just kind of grab that stuff and then realize that you're here for the bigger picture, which is a show live forever, every day, positivity and live songwriting. And some laughs, some impressions, you know. Little news, you know. Joanne, Louise. Joanne, can you keep the wheeze down back there? Guys, I apologize. Joanne. Joanne, the crack in your body, it's splitting you in half now. Yesterday you had a crack in your face 2 days ago. I actually like this new version of Joanne. She's split in half. You just take half her out, you know, just drop her off the cliff right here. We're on a deck, middle of the Pissakanagi River, you know. People wonder how to get to Pissakanagi, but sorry, can't. This private location, 1775 Bible in Pissakanagi, you know. Everybody's wondering, can I come to Pissakanagi and just hang out in the woods there with the steeple? You guys see the steeple back. You know, my neighbor has a steeple. You know, but we're here in Pissakanagi with Joanne. Wheezy McGee. Joanne, can you do me a favor and keep that wheeze down while we're trying to get into the show? You know, it's like I'm doing the show and then she's just doing it. You know, and then she tooted, guys. Unfreaking real. This is, I mean, you gotta call. Gosh, oh my, Joanne, what did you eat? You know. Anyway, guys, a little comedy here for you at the end of the show. We like to keep it light, especially when you're reading the Bible, 1775 Bible. Every day there's some comedy, there's some music, there's some news, there's some inspiration, and then there's tons of truth. So join us tomorrow when we do it all over again. Let me see who's here in the chat on YouTube. If you are on TikTok, I see you, my friend. Please head over to YouTube. Philip Doris, how are you, my friend? Head over to YouTube. Link is in the bio. Say goodnight over there with everybody. Hit the bell notifications. Because we do it again tomorrow at 9 a.m., fam and friends. I will be live. Let's see who's on with me. Bubba News, Helen Gale Townsend, you rock, and thank you for subscribing to the show and also supporting the show. S-Coop, Schumann Residences with Verte. Guys, subscribe to my brother. Schumann Residences with Verte, awesome. And we have to have a Verte session where we get into the frequency vibrations of a Schumann resonance and the earth. Whether it's spinning or not, we really don't know. I mean, I got a Bubba News too, my brother Bubba News. One of these days I want to have Bubba News on the show too, just to chat. We're chatting it out. Guys, this concept, just so you know, in the morning, it's a call-in show. So Bubba, you want to call in tomorrow? Verte, you want to call in? I'm on a 9 a.m. It'll be on the screen. It's 903 call. It's the only time you can call is when it's on the show, but 903 call is the number, 203-903 call. And tomorrow morning, 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning, if you want to jump on, have a conversation about anything. I'm open to talk about any subjects at all. I want to interview people. I want to get into all kinds of stuff here. Have musicians on. We're jamming out together on Zoom because there's this new beta feature where musicians can play together. So someone tell acts, get in touch with, I don't know, John Mayer. Let's have a jam. You know what I mean? Let's do it. I really would love to play with some stupid, crazy, sick musicians and just see what we could create live in the moment. Let's write a song together. Love another musician who can write songs like me, and we're both adding lyrics and singing harmonies to each other like live. And who knows? Creative minds, when they get into that moment, when we're there with the creator in that moment, like we talk about, when two or more are gathered in the moment with creation. Woo. The creator is always present during creation.
Wait a second, Mark. The Creator only created the earth and created you and me and everybody else, and then he took a nap. Today's day 7. He took a nap.
No, every creation, he's there in that moment when there's that magic. It's a beautiful thing. So join us tomorrow when we get into it. I don't know about music in the morning. It's most likely going to be a call-in / news real estate segment. And then tomorrow evening, I hope to be live with you again, somewhere around 9 p.m. So until then, A plays, Brenda's in the house, Bubba News, Helen Gale Townsend, come on down, right, to the next Mark Inspire show. And then we got S-Coop kicking out, and my brother Verte. Verte, when you got a green with the Schumann, right, everyone's calling in, Verte, we got a green. Don't worry about it. If it gets red, no good. No good. You want to keep it blue, a little green, so it's just like, look, it's aqua green. You get like on our way. Don't go full green, and definitely don't go red on a Schumann. We're going to have serious issues. I really have no idea what I'm talking about. I hope that makes Verte laugh when I say stupid things that make no sense. But I do still believe that my 432 hertz music is a healing frequency, and I want to understand more why Verte may or may not think that that's true. And again, to also talk about maybe the pyramids, the Great Pyramids, apparently they have 432 as a tone running through them. I'm like, that's crazy. So there's got to be something about the healing cycle and music, frequency and vibration. So we're going to get into it more. I do believe when I'm in the middle of these songs, like some of them feel great while I'm listening. Like the one I started the show with tonight, Touch the Stars. Like, I don't know, man, I'm dancing here. You guys can't see it. I'm dancing during that song. Like, I know it's my song, so whatever, but I don't think about it that way. I just wrote it 3 days ago. It's not like it's just the same as if I heard it on the radio, because it wasn't mine, and now it is, yeah, but it's still a brand new song that never existed. And when I listen to it, I'm like, that is a rockin' tune, you know? So it's fresh to me. It's still very fresh. So I hope you guys like that song. If you want to hear what I'm talking about, just push playback on the show and listen to it. Totally fire song. And if you can, after the show, please leave a comment. And if it means leaving and coming back to the show to find the comment section, really, really appreciate it. I notice we only get 1 or 2 comments on the live shows, and that may be why we struggle getting new people to see these shows. Like, our focus should be on really bombarding these shows with comments, hearts, and shares, because this is the daily variety connection. And I think if YouTube sees that people are really blowing up the chat, or not the chat, blowing up the comments, and people are responding to each other in comments, like Brenda comes in, she's been leaving awesome comments, and then A plays leaves a response to Brenda, Bubba to Brenda, and A plays, and Helen comes in and she leaves a comment. Before you know it, you have like all these threads going on each of these shows. I think we start to blow up during the shows and not just seeing the subscriber count. But if you're up to making that a challenge, I'll be here. The other cool thing, Trish, thank you for sending me the info today. I'm going to try to call Roseanne tomorrow. I don't know if I'll get through. But Trish did some detective. What the hell is going on? Unreal. Trish found Roseanne Barr's number, I think. Don't know if it's hers. We're going to find out tomorrow. And I'm going to call, but I realize this is the same thing with everything else in life. I can call anybody, guys. Most people don't want to speak to the guy. They want to speak or hear from someone who's not the guy. Because people that are passionate about something, that's absolutely what it gets someone's attention. But if the person who's doing it is passionate about what they do, people are like, yeah, okay, whatever. So it's like, I don't think I'm going to get anywhere if I call her myself tomorrow, and that's all that happens. I thought what would be kind of cool is we have A-Place, we have Brenda, we have Bubba News, we have S-Coop, we have Schumann Resonances with Verte, we have Trish Killian here, anybody else that may be out there and watching this. If you find any of Roseanne's content and it's on her page, leaving a comment that says, hey, this is really cool. We'd love to see you have Mark Inspires on your show. He's the host of the longest running daily positivity and truth show. He was canceled 5 years ago and he keeps showing up live 1,832 days in a row. I know he'd love to write a song for you live in the moment about whatever you want to have written. And also he says a lot of things I think you're really going to be into. Because I heard her talking to some people and they started going into the flat earth. They started going into all kinds of stuff. I'm like, man, there's a lot of stuff I could talk about here and get into and ask questions about. But more importantly, about what the world is trying to do to us and divide us. She's been through it. They tried to cancel her. Like, I'm pretty sure she would really get down with me if she knew I existed. But tomorrow, if I call her, she's going to be like, who the fuck is this kid? Who the hell is this guy? He has 13,000 subscribers. I'm not going to talk to this guy. But if she starts hearing from people who like my show, and they're all saying, you got to have Mark Inspires on, then maybe she'll actually check out my channel. Maybe she'll actually tune into something, or somebody who works for her will. I don't think she's going to do it, but somebody who works for her may. The more people who mention who I am. So you have to start blowing it up. Pretend this show's bigger than it is. That's the reality. Oh, God, I can't wait till you have Mark Inspires on. Same thing with Joe Rogan, guys. I should have been on Joe Rogan already, but someone's got to get me on Joe Rogan, the host of the longest running daily variety show on earth. Joe Rogan gave me the idea to start this show. I used to listen to Joe Rogan. I'd drive, I was working, and I heard him one day say, guys, there's still more room out there. I'm not the only guy, you know, like if you have a voice, if you have something to say, just go, just start. And remember this episode, he goes, just start, just turn the microphone on and go. That night I recorded something. I should find it and play for you. I never released it. It was Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin having a phone call, conversation. And I never released it, but it was going to be my first podcast. It was 45 minutes long, and I recorded it a year before I started the show. Maybe 6-8 months before I started the show. I did that. I recorded it, and I was just about to drop it, and then I just didn't like it. I thought it was a little cheesy. And so I left it. And then 8 months later, I'm sitting in my office, December 31st, 2018, and I'm like, I'm not happy with my year. It was okay, but it wasn't great. What can I do different next year in 2019? And I said, well, you know what I could do is go live more often, create content, and remind people I exist and that I'm a real estate agent. So I hit the air December 31st, 2018, and I said, guys, if you're out there and you're looking to buy a house, why wouldn't you hire someone you went to high school with? Why wouldn't you hire someone who's got 3 kids and hustles every day? You know, is out there busting his tail to make a difference for his clients. So I started with that, and then I went the next day. I was like, don't you know my services are free? It's like with this whole thing, I'm like, if you're buying a piece of property, your real estate agent is free to you. So why would you not hire the best agent in the world? Someone who's going to hustle for you, who's going to go out there, do the work, do the research for you, and provide you the best negotiation possibility when you get to the deal you want to have. And that's where I went with episode 2, episode 3, episode 4. Like episode 5 or 6, my brother comes along. And again, I love my brother, but he's a negative and I'm a positive. And he goes, you know you can't go every day. No one wants to see you every day. And when he said that, I go, you don't know what anybody wants. Don't tell me that everybody doesn't want to see this, that what I'm doing every day. Don't say that. And because he said that, I got this burning inside of me. I'm like, don't tell me what people want. I was like, you don't know what people want or need. And I think he may have been right, to be honest, guys, because it's been 5 years and I can't build. So like, it's because of the content I created and they put me in a hole. But if I didn't, things would have been different. I'm certain of that. But he's been right from one side of it. I would say that he's been absolutely wrong, though. because I know for certain Trish, Virginia, S. Coop, they've explained to me that what this show does for them. When they can come here after their day and let it all out and be with those who they love. Andrea O'Neill, they talk about this. They're like, this is a great one. New Year's Eve, I went on to do a half hour before the show, before the New Year. And I was like, okay, guys, I'm going to go. Right before the show was over, or maybe before the show, Andrea asked, she said, Mark, some of us don't have anywhere to be for New Year's tonight. Would you mind leaving your chat open so we could all be together? And I realized that this show is doing exactly what I intended in the first place. It's providing hope and connection. And the people that are here are feeling it. And all they need is more who are like-minded people looking for that as well. Other people who want to get away for a few minutes and be with awesome people who will speak with you and lift you up a level. So you have that possibility here on the Mark Inspire Show, because I will go live every day for the rest of my life. And I say that is joking manner, but I've been live every day for the last 5 years. So who knows? We don't know what we have, guys. I'm pretty sure the last day I'm alive is the last day I'll be live. So I don't know. If I were you, I'd be subscribing to the guy who's made it a mission to show up every day and drop something positive for you in the efforts of making the world a better place. I know that sounds like a really trite thing to say. I'm going to make the world a better place. But it's fucking shitty right now, guys. Sorry. Isn't it? No, don't try, Mark. Don't try. Sounds trite when you say you want to make the world a better place. Look at my motto. I'm here to effect a positive change one person at a time. At one point in history, you were that person, and I thank you for allowing yourself to take in what we do here and say, you know what? I could use a little more of that. And it means a lot to me because I don't have the numbers that give people the confidence. People get this confidence because they have these huge numbers. They go out there and they're like, wow, I'm this, I'm that. I'm nothing, guys. I'm just a guy who's a real estate agent. I show up every day. I'm trying to lift you up a level. And that's all I say is like, I don't know if I can make a difference. And even if it doesn't mean anything to you, just knowing there's a guy who'll be back tomorrow, hopefully that lets you feel something. Something a little different than those who are giving up on you and saying, no. Tomorrow we come back and we give more. We open our hearts up even more. So, thank you so much for being here. Terminus in the house, Barella, Bubba News, Renee Woods, S. Coop, Trish Killian. Again, thank you for Roseanne's info. I'm going to try that. If you guys can do a little something and spread a word and say, just mention the show on her comments, because I'm going to be calling tomorrow. I think that maybe she'll take a listen. Maybe she'll actually tune in. You never know. But I will try. I'll try anything. You guys know that. Monkey, symbols, stupid hat. I mean, this hat's not stupid, but the monkeys, the symbols, stupid hat thing. I'm that guy. I'd prefer to make a goof out of myself on a daily basis to get you to laugh and say, what the hell? This guy, he's willing to do that for 3 people, for 6 people? Yes. Because those 3 people, those 6 people, they came here to have a show. They came here to be inspired. They came to be lifted up a level. It's not about the number. I'm putting on the best show in the world every day, no matter who's here. So I hope you'll come back tomorrow. Until then. This is the Mark Inspire Show, day 1,832 in a row. And I will see you at 9 a.m. So get some rest.
You got to go away. You got to go away. You got to go away. Yeah.
Brenda, Renee Woods, A Play Shasta Daisy. I'll see you all tomorrow.